Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. Today I want to do something a little different. I want to talk about a self-generated metaphor that I kind of went through. And just to give my explanation of it, and if anybody else is interested in it, we can kind of explore your own one-on-one. So basically, I was trying to figure out kind of what my energy is. That sounds pretty woo-woo, but basically, I was just like wondering what's fueling me, um, and how I feel. And basically, it ended up with this image of me curled up in the forest, and there's this big light shining on top of me. And I looked to the left, and there was this long path, and far away was my my old house that I used to live in back in elementary school, before my parents got divorced and everything like that. And then coming back, looking to my right, there was just dark, like up close darkness. Of course, everything's going to be darker because I'm in a spotlight in the middle of a forest, but it was just like this heavy presence of stuff and darkness. Couldn't really see what it was. Behind me was just the path that I came on. The spotlight was generated from behind me somehow through the trees and whatnot. And then in front of me, what was in front of me? I think I just blocked it out. What was it? It was just more darkness. Yeah. And there were like creatures, people there. Weird, really weird. So looking at the positioning and the metaphor itself, got, you know, the things I've left, which are, you know, the old feelings that I had that were kind of generated in that house at that time. And I tried actually to explore it. I decided in my metaphor to take a step over there and another one, and eventually I made it to the house, and it was spooky. Like, when I was approaching the house, I could see me as a child riding my bike around the house. There were no other houses around. It was just that house, me as a child riding my bike around it. And then I was like, okay, that's weird. So, I didn't say hi to myself. Maybe I should have. But then I took a step into the house, and it was like, hadn't been touched for a long time. The house had no furniture. It was just empty. Yeah, and I decided to go up the stairs towards my old room and my parents' room. And like, I just got this intense feeling that like there were ghosts there and skeletons and stuff. I mean, if I wanted to analyze it a bit, you know, I would think that like some bad things are trapped in the memories of my past and stuff like that. But I didn't dig into it too much further because it scared the crap out of me, honestly. It was weird. So I booked it. I left, went back to my safe spot in the middle of the forest where I'm crouching in this spotlight. And yeah, it was weird. So, you know, when you're in the spotlight, you feel that everybody's watching your every movement. It wasn't on a stage or anything, but I was, you know, very visible to other people. Maybe scrutinized, a little bit afraid of, you know, making mistakes, being on an act, show, while still trying to be myself. And so I decided to look behind me. I should have went to the right, but I went behind. It was just the path I came from. It was what was in the background. If I turned my back on a little bit, maybe, just the place I came from. And there was not really anything there. It was just a path that got me to where I am now. Yeah, and in front of me was darkness. There was creatures and stuff. Like I could feel that there were bodies there. And heads and faces too, not just bodies. That's pretty twisted. And I did not want to go forward. I didn't want to go to where I was facing. Like what was in front of me was scary. Where I'm going is scary. And where I want to be too. It's also it was too much. Like I couldn't handle all the people watching me. And for me to like embrace that by stepping out of the spotlight and joining in. I'll get to that in a bit. But so I went with what was right for me. And what felt right for me was to go through that darkness. And instead of taking a step, you know, I put my hand out and it got chopped off. Okay? In the metaphor, it got chopped off. And I pulled it back and I was like, whoa, it didn't hurt in my mind. But it was just like, that sucked. That was bad. You know, I'm gonna lose a limb if I go to what's right for me. If I take the right path. Could be dangerous. I'm gonna get cut, gonna get hurt. Gonna be a painful trip. But I decided, you know, with that in mind, you know, when I pulled my hand back, the fingers grew back. It's like, okay, maybe I can do this. It was blades, like saw blades, I guess. The spinning circular ones going down, cutting through in like a video game type way. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna go all the way through because my fingers grew back. Maybe my head will too. And I booked it and just got demolished. Right, got cut up. And eventually I made it to this big open field that was peaceful. It was relaxing. There was nothing there, just a field. It was a healthy field, probably a healthy position to be in after getting through all that traumatic injury and all the problems and stuff. Yeah, but I was still like, I just ran through the field and laid down. And I regenerated, but I didn't go anywhere. It was just an empty field. There was nowhere to go. Like I had gone through all the trials and it was just empty. I don't know. I don't really know what to think about that, but a little while later I decided to revisit the metaphor. And I was like, I never explored what was in front of me, what I'm looking forward to, where I was likely to be going. So I decided to try it again. And, you know, since I was still in the field, I had to run back through and get chopped up again, get destroyed. So I went back and I was curled up in in the ball, under the spotlight, you know, being looked at by everybody, feeling that, you know, insecurity about that. Wasn't standing on my own 2 feet, I was laying down. not taking a stand for myself. Didn't know what foot to put forward, I don't think. The ground, I mean, it was nice. Supporting me, right? I had support, I just wasn't standing up for myself. So, I decided, okay, if I'm going to go forward, and the spotlight's going to be gone, it's going to be scary. I don't know why I didn't think about the spotlight when I went to the right. Weird. I just kind of was like, this is what I gotta do. I gotta go through all this hardship because it's right for me. Right? It's the right way to go. To just make things super difficult for myself because I know that I could heal, right, afterwards. Yeah, going forward, I was like, I need to change something. And what I realized is I needed to lighten up. I needed to just make that light come from me. In every sense of the idiom here, right? I just needed to stop worrying about everything, not worrying about being under the spotlight and, having all my moves be micro-analyzed and whatnot. Just go forward to the public, the crowd that was there, whatever they were, embrace that. And if I lighten up for myself, if I'm the source of the energy, the brightness, then it's gonna be, So I just lightened up and walked forward, and everything was fine. I ended up embracing the people that were there, that were watching me before, just as strangers, and was able to continue forward with this big group of people. Draw it very quick. Got a little whiteboard here. I don't think there's too much that needs to be explained, but so I'm like laying down here, right? This is me laying down, okay? I can draw better than that, but it's not gonna happen right now. I'm in the spotlight there. Down this way is my old house with whatever traumatic experiences I had possibly left behind if it was over here. And it was things that I had not explored, really. My past, my feelings about the situation. Then behind me was just this pathway and a light shining like that. When I turned my back on where I came from, what was behind me. And then over here was this like Death Valley and this huge field that when I made it through all these cutting pieces, it was just an empty field. I guess there wasn't anything for me. After I passed through all these pointless difficulties and all this pain, right? Where what I thought was right for me, it was just emptiness. I didn't have to go this way. It was just what I thought I needed to do. And then looking forward, there were just a crowd. It was a crowd of people. But really, all I could see were just smiles. But I couldn't tell if they were nice smiles or evil smiles. Yeah. So going this way just ended up in nothingness. It was just an empty field. There was nothing to go with after that, right? Over here was just my unexplored past, some difficulties and maybe trauma and stuff like that. Light trauma. But as an INFP, we kind of hold on to that stuff. And then behind, yeah, not too much. I could have gone back, but I didn't feel that I wanted to go back. I was here. I just didn't have that ability to push forward, to keep going up along this, what was a path. I guess I'm making the path as I'm walking. But yeah, so after lightening up myself, I walked out here and just, it was all good. I was able to embrace, you know, all these people and these different stories. And because I lightened up and didn't take myself as seriously. And I think, especially as, well, an introvert, but as an INFP, maybe an ISFP, you know, probably, I lighten up sometimes. Not everybody thinks about things in the same way, and it's not always as detrimental as you would think. Just lighten up and embrace it, go with it. Take that step forward. You don't always have to do what you've learned is the right way. And I think that's what I was going for. You know, I've learned that I can make it through hardships. I can go through difficulties because I'm like secure in myself, right? And but I don't have to. But that's just what I've trained myself is the right way. Possibly. I don't know. So that was my little exploration of what started to be like, what is my energy, and turned into that whole situation. But I think it comes back to like, it's, my energy is coming from me. Well, it needs to come from me, and my source of happiness and my contribution to the world needs to come from me, and from me not being as difficult on myself and whatnot. Embracing what's out there, what's ahead of me. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Anyway, if you watched this and if you thought it was interesting in some way, let me know in the comments below. If you want to talk about your own, like I said, I'd be happy to do like a Skype call and we can see what it's all about, because this is fun for me just to explore. So, I don't know, write a comment, let me know. Alright, see ya. Good luck, have fun.